Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for inviting me here today. I was wondering when Harvinder was talking about why I was getting cold, because I am not wearing a tie. So we just realized that I also didn't know until the Japan Prime Minister said what he said, that don't get cold because we are wearing a tie. Uh, how many of you seen Imagica lately?
All of them.
Great. So I'll take little time to say how I reached here. I won't be able to speak as long as my predecessor spoke because I would rather answer a few questions if it is there coming afterwards after I spoke. But it has been a very interesting journey, though sometimes painful, sometimes not, but very, very interesting. I enjoyed my job all the time. I came to Bombay as most of the Mangalorean Shetties have come here on looking for jobs. They all come from Mangalore, one district they belong to. Educated, not educated, came here, started restaurants and other business, lawyers. But they all came on survival here. And I'm sure most of the people into metro cities, they will come into survival only. Most of the people belong to the smaller villages or the towns. So I came into survival. I was 17 and a half years old, hardly educated. Tried to enter college here, I did, but did not complete completely. Because I was in a hurry, I was a man in a hurry, didn't waste time on education. I thought at that time. And it has been proved right to me, don't go into my advice. But it proved right to me, but it may not prove to others that education is very important. Please continue. I started working in a film processing laboratory, trying other jobs earlier, which belonged to my brother. Thanks to him that he allowed me work with him, then I did not get along together in that establishment. So I ventured into starting my own very small lab, which is film processing was very important at that stage. This is the year 1978. And there were 7 major laboratories. The laboratories by then is considered as a very important place where the films gets made, got edited, re-recorded, mixed, and prints are made, go to the theaters. So there is no way I can enter. I am an individual person. How can I enter that space? Because they're all established places. But at the same time, as Mr. Singh said, there was an advertising film areas. That was the only mode of advertisement for products, from liver to small product to the bigger products to, you had to advertise only in theaters. There was no television, there was no other mode of, either you go to hoardings or you advertise in theaters. They used to be called as advertisement films, and it used to be called in commercials overseas. So I started processing catering to small producers, only ad films, and it's called that's why I named my company Adlabs. So it's continued doing Adlabs, and then when we became bigger, ads films were not enough. I had to move into a larger space. So in a competition of 7 labs in Bombay, I set up a laboratory, expanded my laboratory, and as the time went by, next 5 to 6 years, all others closed down. I was the only laboratory survived, existed, and expanded in the years to come at that time. But interestingly, I need to tell you that how important it was in theaters, because television came, different mode of advertisements came, various kinds of films were made, digital came, the projection shifted into digital. Dhoom was a film, no print came out of there. I felt my business cycle has come to an end, because motion pictures, print film has been completely stopped. What you see in multiplexes today or other cinemas today, it's all digitally projected. Most of you may not know it, how it is projected, but it's all digital. There's no cinema, print, film, what you used to see. It's all virtual cinema now. It's called as virtual prints. So I reached at that stage and wanted to start something new, because I have been thinking little ahead of time, unfortunately. I wanted to bring in IMAX theater and the new multiplex theaters. In year 1996, I was working on how to get into the cinema business, into theaters. because I crossed from ad films to the largest film processing laboratory. Then what is the next? That's got over. Professionally, the work can be handled. Though the family-owned business, it can be handled professionally also. People are there to run the business. So that is a time where cinemas are getting closed because video piracy and theaters are not maintained properly. The toilets are not good. People don't want to go to cinemas. They will buy a pirated video and they will not go to cinemas because it was not worth going with families. All those cinemas. I don't know if you guys are how young you were by that time, but people were not going to cinemas. Cinemas were not there. It was not worth going. So I started in IMAX and a multiplex in year 2000. 2001 March I opened to the public, which was said by the people who were in the industry at that time that this fellow has gone mad because nobody is going to pay 100 rupees ticket for a multiplex film price. From 2001 you see today, or in 5-6 years next, even second tier cities, what we call, multiplexes spread all over. People are paying 100 rupees is nothing. People are paying 500, 600 rupees today with such a short time. It is the same multiplex that I have started at IMAX Vadala. You're seeing the same seats, the same theater, same acoustic, same everything. People are paying 500 rupees today, the same cinemas. So it is the way people want to see. I strongly believe that if you give something good, people will pay the price. I don't think it's always a problem, you say whether the people will pay a price or not. But if you think that you should give their money's worth, I think they will buy it. I am very confident about that. So to do the IMAX theater, I needed around 55 crore rupees at that time. Even if I had said that my lab was big, but the business was not that big that it can afford. So I thought the reputation has been good, I should go public and raise this money. And in year 2000, I went public and raised that money and built that cinema multiplex and went to Fame Adlabs and all the other cinemas we built. Mr. Anil Ambani wanted to get into entertainment industry at that time, and looking into all companies existed because I was the first company in the motion picture business to go public. And he felt this was the company that he wanted to get into. And that was the only eligible company according to the administration or the business transparencies or whatever. So they chose to buy, and I was very happy to sell, though it was a family-owned company. So the thing is, as Mr. Singh said earlier, you want to let it go, I decided to let it go. Not that I wanted to take this money and go home, go to Mangalore back or something. But I said it will allow me to do the next level of business. It wasn't an idea to sell that that I want to cash all the 30 years of my struggle or experience and keep away and get retired. It wasn't the idea. Idea was there is an opportunity for me to grow and change, and there is no excitement to do the same job ever since you have been doing. It is done, I have done more than 50 films during the process, funded, co-produced, did more than 50-60 number of screens at that time, had the biggest laboratory possible. I don't know, there was nothing left to do more in motion picture industry except to become an actor. It was too late for me. So I said, what else to do? Okay, and there's an opportunity, Mr. Anil Ambani wanted to grow. And I also thought, because so much money coming into from Ambani Group, this company also will become very big company in motion picture industry. That is the only way it can grow. Well, I did that, and when I decided what to do now, I was 60 by then, and right thing to do, retire, because there's generally people retire at that time. But I thought I need to do something new. The IMAX idea also came when I first went into Disney and Universal in 1982, that I saw these two experiences. And you always feel, and most of you feel probably when you travel abroad and see it, that why don't we have it in our country? For example, any new thing what you see there, you'll always wonder why it's not exist in our country. So I also felt, as normally you would feel, or I would feel, or anybody else will feel, that why we don't have an IMAX theater, why we don't have a theme park. So I was excited about a theme park to set up, and I did that. Then there was no theme parks that existing in this country. So how do you go about it? I have no technicians, I have no architects, I have no people who have planned, and I don't want to get into Disney's association, or probably at that time they are not interested. They are not interested now also. So you have to create that. How do you create a theme park? It is a big question. I want to make a theme park. Well, I'll find money from the public, or I find money in the bank. But how do you make a theme park? So I had to put people who worked in Disney and Universal theme parks overseas. There were some 20 Americans working in my office for the 2 years in the design stage. And then we got those designs into Indian architects and translated into that, and what you saw came in of a 3.5, 4 years of labor and talent being put into that. That I am not saying that this is the best thing what we can do, but our role model was where to achieve, what we want to reach was Disney in Universal in Singapore. And people who have traveled both places are saying that we are par or we are better for the kind of a price and kind of what facility we have provided at a theme park is concerned. The point is, when I wanted to make a theme park, it's a 2,200 crore rupees project. Whatever I have done in the past is like making 200 films at one given time in terms of budgets. Even if I consider 20 crore rupees a large budget, so it's 200 crores, 2,200 crores. So impossible to explain. So I had to go to these banks and tell them, okay, I'm doing a theme park. I want to. What's a theme park? So it is something like SL World? No. There is a theme park. What's the theme park? Tell us SL World is there, it's 30 crores, 40 crores. Why do you want 2,200 crore rupees? Well, all the public sector banks, you don't expect them to travel outside and see theme parks. And you have to explain. This took me 18 months to tell them what is a theme park. Until then, even on the end of 18 months, they did not understand what a theme park, but the persistence what I was doing, they said, this fellow has done good in the past, probably will do something. So they said, this is signed it and sanctioned loan. Even now, they don't know. Part of them have visited. Now they know the project is complete, it's okay, fine. But to do that, to convince something unconventional is very, very difficult to do it. I think that is what is the sense of achievement that you explain them. Now, will I be able to manage this park? Now, will I be able to manage the park, pay the loans back or not, is only time will say. But I am very happy with my execution. Now, we have offers from other states to set up theme parks there, and we are going public. Actually, I have a kick-off meeting this afternoon with all the lawyers and merchant bankers, something like that. I am planning to go public for expanding in Delhi and Hyderabad. I think there could be potentially some more theme parks can be made in this country, and we are quite happy with the result, and the people go happy out, very happy coming into the theme park. So it allows us to, one is we have learned a lesson from what are the things we shouldn't be doing, or what are the expansion we should do, what are the more participative entertainment we can incorporate into the theme parks. All those things actually we are working now, or partly incorporate here itself and partly do the new projects we are doing. Because even when IMAX we are buying from IMAX Corporation Canada, they also said at that time that India is not ready. This feeling with the people who are supplying or participating is that India is not ready. What is not ready? When there is a Madras coffee available, if Starbucks can come. We knew only one coffee, right? A coffee pure. But there are 60 coffees are sold in Starbucks. What is 60 different coffees? Or whatever, something like that. So, but are we ready? We are not ready. We are ready. It's a very, very difficult situation to pass, to convince people. Now, how do I convince what a theme park is to a public? I'm saying, okay, you spend 10,000 rupees a year So when I tell the banks, it's 10,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees. So they said, how can they spend 10,000 rupees? Because everybody goes into every Friday, go to a multiplex, go to a mall, buy, go out for dinner. I said, no, it's 1 year. Even a guy who is drawing 30,000 rupees salary a month can afford 10,000 rupees in a year to go with his 4 people family to take it to a theme park. That's why I'm giving it to you. You don't have to go to Singapore or Dubai or Hong Kong. So, but I think we have achieved that. People who can afford, they just buy a ticket to Hong Kong or Orlando or somewhere, they go to a theme park. But there is a sector of family who cannot afford to do that. Now, of course, there is one more below, people cannot afford anything. That's different. That's not my target audience. But there is a section of people who will not be able to go to Orlando or Hong Kong or Singapore, but they deserve certain kind of entertainment. And we also did all the subjects of Indian subject. I'm sure you have seen, these things we all inspired from what worked in Disney and Universal, but we made it as Indian subjects. It took us a lot of time to write those scripts and how to make it what is India. If you have seen Wrath of God, it's Indian gods. Mr. India is almost, I can say today, as far as you don't tell anybody, Universal, that Simpson is the role model, or is idea of an attraction called a Simpsons, which is a popular character in the US in the television serials. We picked up Mr. India as a reference film, and with almost the same kind of a attraction we did. So a lot of thoughts went on, but India is not ready was one thing which I was trying to fight, and probably you have succeeded. Now that all the state government is telling and come and set it up in their states, I think this, wherever we go, we need some kind of a starting point of somebody doing something which does not exist. I think that's the main point that I try to do always. So few people of my critics were saying that, when I started a multiplex, it may not be the right time because it may not work, but it worked. So Mr. Shetty is little ahead of time. So I always feel little ahead of time. I already now that it's already 8 months that we opened the park, I'm getting bored that I'm trying to think of what else to do. But maybe the age does not go with me. But I would like to do at least 1 or 2 more parks. And I'm really, because enjoyed doing something new, and it was very satisfaction in my job. This is 35 years of going from one young man coming to the city on survival and trying to do something, various things which are noticed by the public. There would be some people who are done successfully, made a lot of money, but not noticed. I was most of the times at a place where it is visible. Adlabs theaters, Adlabs films we have Adlabs made, and the kind of a thing. So there are a lot of instances and references and subjects have gone through. It's very difficult to say in 10 minutes to say what are the things, what went when. I'm always ready, whatever questions you have, or now or later, I'm there to answer. And thank you for this opportunity. Thank you very much.